Welcome to the news at 7 on ASO Television. I am Rosemary Kokotega. The headlines. President Tinubu to swear in Olatunji Disu as Inspector General of Police on Wednesday. Department of State Security arrests suspect over attack on Peter Obi, others in Edo State. FCT Minister begins thank you visit to area councils. And NEL Fund approves student loan application portal extension. President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday swear in Olatunji Disu as the substantive Inspector General of Police following the unanimous endorsement of his appointment by the Nigeria Police Council on Monday. Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, announced this in a statement on Monday. The swearing-in ceremony is to take place during the Federal Executive Council meeting scheduled for the same day. Disu's confirmation comes barely a week after President Tinubu appointed him acting IGP following resignation of Kayode Egbetokun last Tuesday. Disu, 59, was born on April 13, 1966 in Lagos State and joined the Nigeria Police Force on May 18, 1992 as a cadet assistant superintendent of police. He holds multiple qualifications in public administration, forensic investigation, criminology, security, legal psychology, and entrepreneurship, credentials that the presidency said reflect his commitment to knowledge-driven modern policing. Prior to his appointment, Disu served as Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of the Special Protection Unit and the 4th CID Annex in Lagos. Like his predecessor, Disu served under President Tinubu during his tenure as Lagos State Governor from 1999 to 2007, while Egbetokun was Chief Security Officer. Disu served as aide-de-camp. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwonyi Sonwike, has commenced a thank-you visit to the 6 area councils of the FCT following the just concluded election. Kicking off the tour in Buhari Area Council on Tuesday, the event attracted a large gathering of members and supporters of the All Progressives Congress, the APC. Speaking at the event, Minister Wike thanked residents for their massive turnout and peaceful conduct during the polls, noting that their support was instrumental to the party's success. He assured them that continued backing of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would attract more development projects to Buhari and other parts of the FCT.
We have to be careful. There are those now whose duty, in order to deceive themselves, they now go out to buy corn on the road to chew corn. They buy granite on the road to chew granite. What is important is, when they were in office, did they buy corn to chew? When they were in office, did they buy granite to chew? When they were governors, did they go to IDP camp for birthdays? Nobody can deceive us again. Will you allow ourselves to be deceived again? I have said, and I want to say clearly again, we have no business to send somebody to Senate who does not understand what the people want.
In his response, the chairman-elect of Buhari Area Council, Joshua Ishaku Musa, appreciated the minister for his support and pledged to mobilize residents to sustain their support for the APC and the Tinubu's administration. The tour is expected to continue in other area councils in the coming days. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, has clarified restriction of movement during the recent FCT area council's elections was approved by President Bola Tinubu and implemented by security for security reasons. Speaking during his monthly media chat in Abuja, Barrister Wike said the decision was taken to ensure a peaceful and orderly electoral process across the area councils. His remarks come amid criticism from prominent politicians and other stakeholders who questioned the necessity of restricting movement on election day. Some critics argued that the measure was excessive and inconvenienced to residents. However, the FCT minister maintained that the directive was purely a security precaution aimed at preventing potential disruptions and safeguarding voters, electoral officials, and election materials throughout the exercise. The minister further explained that his support for candidates in the FCT area council elections was in fulfillment of a promise he made to President Bola Tinubu, and that backing the candidates was part of his political commitment and aligned with his responsibilities. Barrister Wike also maintained it is within his power as FCT minister to visit polling units during elections to monitor the situation and ensure adequate security. He dismissed criticism surrounding his presence at polling centers, insisting his actions were lawful and aimed at guaranteeing a peaceful electoral process. The Federal Capital Territory Administration, the FCTA, has approved contracts worth over 8.4 billion naira at its 18th Executive Committee meeting covering waste management, flood relief, support and security enhancement in Abuja. Briefing journalists after the meeting chaired by the Minister of the FCT, Barrister Ezenwo Wike, officials said 7.3 billion naira was ratified for waste collection services in 4 districts of the Federal Capital City and diesel supply to the Wupa Waste Treatment Plant, while other memo cleared the procurement of food and non-food items for flood-affected residents. The ESCO also approved 1.13 billion naira for the emergency purchase of communication gadgets for the FCT security agencies, as authorities highlighted improvements in the issuance of certificates of occupancy and warned property owners to comply with land use regulations.
By the special grace of God, in today's ESCO, we did present and seek the ratification of 2 memos that was graciously approved by the ESCO. The first memo was the memo seeking the approval and ratification of contract for the provision of waste collection and management services in 4 delineated districts of the Federal Capital City, and the supply of NGO diesel to WOPA Basic Sewage Treatment Plant for the period of 2 years. And the memo was graciously approved by the ESCO. The total figure for the award of these 4 contracts amounted to 7.3 billion naira.
In today's ESCO meeting, the ESCO have approved and ratified award of contract for the emergency procurement of communication gadgets and other equipment for FCT Security Agency in the sum of 1,133,802,500 naira only. The essence of this project is to support the FCT Security Agency in carrying out their assignment within the territory.
Mine is to update you on certificates of occupancy on properties in Abuja. As we are aware, certificates of occupancy issuance to property owners in Abuja have greatly improved in terms of the time it takes to get that produced and released. Gone are the days when you pay for CFO, you wait years, in some cases decades, to have your certificate produced and issued to you. Now, whether it was an old grant or recent grants made by the minister, as long as you pay your certificate of occupancy bill, you could have your CFO within a time period as short as 1 week.
The FCT coordinator of Renewed Hope Ambassadors for Tinubu 2027, Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu Candido, has commended residents of the Federal Capital Territory for massively voting candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC in the just concluded FCT Area Council elections. Alhaji Candido gave the commendation during a post-area council election press conference held in Abuja. The report.
The FCT Renewed Hope Ambassador Coordinator Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu Candido said upon assumption office, he immediately set the machinery in motion ahead of the area council elections by embarking on strategic visit to chiefdoms, support groups and various associations across the territory. He thanked residents for turning out in large numbers to vote for APC candidates, noting that the outcome clearly demonstrates that FCT residents appreciate the developmental strides of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, particularly through the effort of the FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike.
The last 2.5 years in the Federal Capital Territory has been so good with the administration of Mr. President through the support and services rendered by the Minister. It has never been so good in the past couple of years as far as the administration of the Federal Capital Territory is concerned. Here we have a minister who has toiled round the FCT.
Speaking on the issue of voter apathy recorded in some areas, Candido assured that the Renewed Hope ambassadors would intensify sensitization campaigns to educate residents on the importance of participating in elections, especially at the grassroots level. He expressed optimism that there will be improved voter turnout in the 2027 presidential election in the FCT.
And our engagement before the presidential election will further give a boost, all right? And it all depends on the services rendered by our local governments. We urge them to, sit up right now to face the reality of governance. Let the people be happy to come out, to vote because of the services rendered by the elected officials. And I think that is our resolve to ensure that these engagements start right ahead.
On the earlier projection by the FCT chairman of the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, Algon, and chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Dalladi Chia, that the council election outcome will be 6/6 in favor of the APC, Candido said the party remains confident and hopeful of achieving greater victories in future elections.
I want to assure you, by the grace of God, with the commitment of the Renewed Hope ambassadors, in the next area council election, which will likely be in the next 3-4 years, we should be able to change the narrative because we were not in place before now. But it's our resolve that we are going to now engage the electorates properly for them to understand the importance of local government election. This is the most important government that is supposed to be well given attention by residents.
In the just concluded FCT area council elections, the All Progressive Congress APC won 5 out of the 6 area councils in the territory. The briefing was attended by the 6 area council coordinators and 4 directors of the FCT Renewed Hope Ambassadors for Tinubu 2027. Abdullahi Mukhtar, ASO Television News. The FCT Renewed Hope...
The chairman of Abaji Area Council, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, has presented a brand new day-long bright motorcycle to Comrade Salisu Isa Smart in recognition of his unwavering loyalty, commitment and steadfast support. The presentation, which took place in Abaji, was described as a gesture of appreciation for the young supporters' remarkable show of dedication during the last FCT Area Council election. Comrade Salisu Isa, a vibrant and determined youth of Abaji, trekked from Abaji main town to Abuja city center to celebrate the resounding victory of the chairman. His action drew admiration from residents who described it as a rare display of loyalty and solidarity. While presenting the motorcycle, Chairman Abdullahi commended a young man for his resilience and passion, noting that youths who demonstrate such commitment to democratic processes deserve encouragement and support. This gesture has been widely applauded by residents who described it as a morale booster for young people in the area and a demonstration of inclusive leadership. Observers also offered prayers for the executive chairman, asking God to grant him wisdom, strength, and success in the discharge of his responsibilities for the continued development of Abaji Area Council. The Department of State Services, DSS, has arrested a man suspected to be behind the recent attack on the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP, Mr. Peter Obi, in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Mr. Obi, a former governor of Mr. Obi and Chief John Oyegun, as well as several chieftains and members of the opposition All Democratic Congress ADC party, were attacked on February 24 by armed men who fired several gunshots shortly after the party's meeting in the state. Shortly after the attack, one Udeme Monday Stephen was alleged to have posted on his X account threatening further attacks on Obi. The attack was said to have occurred shortly after the chieftains returned from the ADC secretariat, where they formally welcomed the former governorship candidate of the Labour Party, Olumide Akpata, into the party. The Directorate of Information and Research of the National Assembly has introduced a new ultra-modern newsroom for monitoring of real-time proceedings and strategic communication of the legislature. Clerk to the National Assembly, Mr. Kamoru Gulana, speaking at the commissioning ceremony, stated that the complex is being developed to a befitting center of pride and national significance for Nigeria. He said the newsroom is a strategic investment designed to strengthen information management, improve documentation of legislative activities, and enhance public engagement, especially in an era where communication defines credibility. Also speaking, the Secretary, Research and Information Directorate, Pharmacist Ali Umaru, described the commissioning of the ultra-modern newsroom as a significant milestone in the ongoing institutional strengthening of the National Assembly. He said that beyond the physical structure, it is the unveiling of capacity and the establishment of a strategic communication hub designed to enhance transparency, accountability, and public engagement in democratic process. The pharmacist added the newsroom will serve 4 critical roles in advancing the communication mandate of the legislature, ensuring real-time monitoring of proceedings and strategic communication. He said by closely tracking debates, motions, resolutions, and oversight engagements in both chambers, the Directorate will promptly identify matters requiring official clarification and public communication. Watch ASO Television on DSTV 392, StarTimes TV 127, Free TV 507 on the UHF band, channel 38. Still to come in the bulletin, NEL Fund approved student loan application portal extension, plus other stories. Stay with us after this time out. And the news is also streaming on our Facebook Live and YouTube. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund said it has approved an extension of its student loan application portal following a significant increase in awareness and nationwide demand generated by its ongoing sensitization campaign. A statement by the Director, Strategic Communications, NEL Fund, Osheyemi Oluwatuyi, on Monday noted that the decision followed a reminder notice issued last week informing the public that the NEL Fund student loan application portal would close on February 27, 2026. According to the statement, the extension was specifically intended to accommodate students who require additional time to complete their applications. Prospective applicants who became aware of the scheme during the recent nationwide sensitization engagements, institutions newly commencing their 2025-2026 academic session, and institutions who have not yet submitted their verified student lists. Speaking on the development, Managing Director and Chief Executive of NEL Fund, Akintunde Soya, reaffirmed the fund's commitment to inclusivity and equitable access. NEL Fund reiterated that institutions that have not yet commenced the 2025-2026 academic session must submit an official request for extension accompanied by their approved academic calendar for consideration. According to the statement, NEL Fund said it remained committed to transparency, accountability, and the delivery of sustainable student financing solutions that remove financial barriers to higher education in Nigeria. The House of Representatives Committee on Federal Polytechnics and Higher Technical Education on Tuesday approved the budget performance reports of federal polytechnics across the country. The committee, however, raised concerns over compliance lapses and staffing at the Computer Professionals Registration Council of Nigeria, CPN. Speaking during a budget defense session attended by rectors and other top officials of federal polytechnics at the National Assembly, Chairman of the committee, Mr. Fuad Laguda, placed closer collaboration with the institution to address long-standing challenges confronting the sector. He described polytechnics as indispensable to Nigeria's industrial and technological aspiration, noting that their contributions to middle-level manpower development remain critical to national growth. The lawmaker reiterated the need for sustained investment in the polytechnic system, stressing that the country's quest for technological advancement cannot be achieved without well-funded and properly equipped technical institutions. He urged the Committee of Federal Rectors to ensure that the few institutions yet to submit their budget documents do so without delay, to facilitate effective legislative oversight. In a related development, the committee mandated the Registrar of the Computer Professionals Registration Council of Nigeria, CPN, Mr. Adebayo Adegbiji, to submit all outstanding relevant documents within 7 days. Stakeholders in the fintech ecosystem in Nigeria have registered their support, accompanied with a pocket of concerns for the establishment of a commission to regulate activities of operators for improved service. The stakeholders made separate presentations at a public hearing on a bill for the establishment of Nigeria Fintech Regulatory Commission, NFRC, and related matters organized by the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Banking and Technology at the National Assembly, while the acting national chairman, Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, AMBAM, Mr. Obioha Otto, gave an express support. Chief Compliance Officer of Hydrogen Payment Services Limited, Ms. Moji Shola Ologe, the Secretary Unified Payment Services Limited, Mr. Sylvester Adahada, as well as representative of Network International, Mr. Akinyemi Adekpaju, and that of Fair Money Microfinance Bank, Mr. Henry Obieke, among others, reserved that instead of an entirely new regulator, existing institutions should be rather strengthened to guide against duplication.
I stand here on behalf of over 2 million POS and mobile money agents operating across all 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT. We wish to clearly state that AMBAM fully supports the bill for the establishment of the Nigerian Fintech Regulatory Commission. We believe it is a welcome development that will strengthen transparency, consumer protection, and financial system stability.
Section 31 of the bill imposes immediate heavy fines, imprisonment, and forfeiture for unlicensed activity. While deterrence is important, over-criminalization in emerging industries can discourage innovation and foreign investment. For this, we recommend an initial administrative compliance window, cease and desist orders where systemic risk exists, criminal sanctions reserved for fraud, willful misconduct, and persistent refusal to comply.
Permit me to please begin by commending the House for the foresight and leadership in sponsoring this bill, which represents a timely and strategic response to the rapid growth of technology-driven solutions within the fintech ecosystem. We will propose that the bill should be activity-focused, in that what the bill should seek to regulate is the specific activities of entities rather than what the entities do entirely.
We at Fairmoney are not opposed to regulation within the fintech space. We think it's important and we want regulations to be strengthened. However, what we see with this bill is something that is going to result in duplication of regulations and regulators, right? And for us, this can create significant compliance burden. And it creates.
Sponsor of the bill, Mr. Fuad Laguda, earlier, while providing synopsis, revealed that his discovery of non-existent regulatory body for operators in the sector propelled the sponsorship.
I sponsored this bill to establish the NFRC to enhance businesses and operational activities of fintech operators and service providers in Nigeria. I discovered that Nigeria has no single regulatory authority regulating businesses, practices, and operations of fintech operators and service providers, despite the impact on national growth and development.
Chairman House Committee on Digital and Electronic Banking, Mr. Emmanuel Ukpongudo, in his opening remarks, described the engagement as a reflection of the legislature's commitment to building a responsive and forward-looking legal framework that keeps pace with the rapid evolution of financial technology in Nigeria. Now, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, declared the session open through a representative, Dr. Adebayo Adepoju, recognizing that fintech has a major tool for advancing financial inclusion in the country with one of the largest underbanked populations in the world. 1,000 cartons of the special Ramadan food package has been distributed by the National Mosque Palliative Distribution Committee to vulnerable individuals and families in the Federal Capital Territory and its surrounding areas. The food packages were donated by the First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu through the Office of the President. Daniel Obi reports.
Ustaz Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad, Palliative Distribution Committee, expressed gratitude to the First Lady for her generosity, while calling on other well-meaning Nigerians to emulate the First Lady by showing compassion to the poor and needy of the society. He equally expressed reactions to certain selfish tendencies displayed by some individuals during the distribution.
As you can see, the recipients are from everywhere. Everywhere around Abuja environs, they are here to collect. Muslims, Christians, collecting the Renewed Hope package, and everybody is happy. A lot of items coming from a number of people. The First Lady being the top on the list, and some other people have contributed. Seeing the way the distribution is going on, people are encouraged to bring more to the poor, as whatever is here would go to the desired recipients. Whenever you are distributing something like this, people want to have, it's like me first, before any other person. And that's why we are trying to regularize it and to organize it in such a way that the card will ease this type of tension.
The recipients, drawn from all walks of life, including Muslims and non-Muslims, as well as indigent and non-indigent persons, all smiling under the weight of their gifts. They thanked the First Lady for the distribution, which is aimed at alleviating the economic hardship faced by many Nigerians during the holy month of Ramadan.
It will help a lot.
In what way?
The family, for my children. So I thank everybody in this place who give us this meal to open mouth for Ramadan. May God be with every one of you. May God keep everybody alive.
I feel happy. Happy. Yes.
Muna masu addu'a Allah ya saka musu da alheri a wannan wata da muke ciki. Aka taimaka ma bayan Allah wata na karban ayyuka na lada. Muna masu addu'a Allah ya saka musu da alheri. Ya biya ma kowa bukatun su na alheri.
The food packages contained essential staple items like rice, spaghetti, tomato paste, milk, sugar, among other things, to help beneficiaries observe a decent Ramadan season. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has recovered another stolen vehicle during a routine enforcement operation in Lagos. The vehicle, a Toyota Sienna, was impounded on Saturday by operatives of the Corps at the Solo Unit Command for a vehicle license violation after the driver failed to present valid documents. Subsequent checks revealed that the vehicle had been reported stolen while the driver was declared wanted. The suspect was later handed over in handcuffs by officers of the Nigeria Police Force at Jao Division for further action. FRSC says the recovery underscores the effectiveness of its patrol operations and the National Vehicle Identification Scheme, which has enhanced digital verification and traceability of vehicles nationwide. The Corps noted that routine traffic enforcement continues to play a vital role not only in ensuring compliance, but also in strengthening national security and combating vehicle theft. Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed commended the patrol team and reaffirmed the Corps' commitment to leveraging technology and intelligence to safeguard lives and property. And that's the bulletin, but before we go, let's remind you that President Tinubu will on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, swear in Olatunji Disu as the substantive Inspector General of Police, following the unanimous endorsement of his appointment by the Nigeria Police Council on Monday. Many thanks for watching. I am Rosemary Okokotega. Good night.